James stood at the door, hand on the handle. He knew walking out meant the end of everything. But at last, he turned around, looked his manager in the eye, and said, "I won't trade my dignity for a paycheck." In that moment, it felt like a chain snapped after years of captivity. James was a gifted engineer at a major firm, always a top performer, but he began to notice that his colleague, William, the son of the company's owner, kept getting the big projects and promotions, despite his mediocre results. His manager, John, started to pressure him. Be more supportive of William. He's the future of this company. Why won't you cover for his mistakes? You're part of the team. If you keep complaining, we won't be able to keep you. One night, James returned home exhausted and sat beside his sick mother. She whispered, "Don't let them steal your light like they did to your father." Those words struck a chord, but the fire wasn't lit just yet. On a critical day, James discovered that William had stolen his designs and submitted them under his own name in an international competition. When James confronted him, the manager simply said, "It's for the good of the company. We'll compensate you." He tried to stay calm, but something in his eyes broke forever. That night, sitting on the floor of his apartment, James began burning old papers. Among them, he found an old sketch he had drawn years ago, a building design he once dreamed of bringing to life. He chuckled bitterly. I forgot who I was, chasing their approval. Then he noticed something scribbled in the corner. Start when they mock you. Endure when they ignore you. It felt like a message from his younger self. As a boy, James used to sketch towers in the margins of his school books, dreaming of building something that would outlast time itself. The next day, James uploaded one of his new designs online. No name attached. He expected nothing. But within a week, he received a message from a foreign investor. "Is this your work? We have a project and need someone with this vision." And just like that, the real spark began. 2 years later, the largest engineering firm in the region unveiled the Red Tower, a marvel that stunned the world. The building itself was a message: grace, power, precision, unignorable. When the young founder was asked about his secret, he said, "When I stopped waiting for their thanks, I started making history." John watched the televised unveiling in silence. In another scene, William sat alone in his office, now stripped of its former glory. His father's company had become a shadow of what it was. Most of the talented engineers had left, following a vision, not a title. He shuffled through financial documents, stumbled across a contract for a new project, paused. Registered design patent, J. Graham. He froze for a second, then slammed the folder shut. James hadn't just walked away. He made them collapse under the weight of their own silence. Some of his former co-workers would later tell him, "We didn't leave because of the company. We left because we believed in your dream more than theirs." Real men don't build empires on the corpses of their dignity. If they ask you to be just another cog in the machine, be the engine they fear. Dignity isn't a luxury. It's the last wall before you melt into nothingness. Sometimes your greatest revenge is your quietest loss. Don't fear to fall. Fear becoming comfortable, crawling. On his way to another meeting, James slowed down as he passed the old company building, once full of arrogance and injustice. He looked at the cracked facade, the lifeless windows, and there stood someone he once knew well. William, still in a fine suit, but with eyes that had lost their shine. James didn't need words. A subtle smile appeared as he lowered his car window. Their eyes met, no hatred, just quiet awareness of who had truly risen. He remembered the note. Start when they mock you. Endure when they ignore you. Now, they couldn't ignore him if they tried. In his hand, he held his new business card. James Graham, CEO of RED, Reclaim Every Dream. He didn't just build a tower, he reclaimed every dream they tried to kill. But one question remained, hanging in the silence. What would you have done in his place? Would you have endured? Would you have broken? Or would you have built something that made the world turn its head? There's a James sleeping inside all of us, and maybe, just maybe, this was his wake-up call.